Namaste, beautiful yogis. Today I'm taking you for a ride to release the sciatica nerve. So this sciatica nerve is a strong nerve that runs down from our lower back all the way down our hip, through the leg, all the way down our heel and to the foot. So this nerve can get easily stuck if you have a herniated disc or you have a piriformis syndrome, incredibly tight glute muscles, you sit a lot in the work or you forget to stretch. So there's many reasons that we start to feel sciatica pain. And one thing that is important is to remember that sciatica pain doesn't really get healed with a lot of rest, just lying down for days. Rather, with a gentle exercise, go for a walk, go for a swim, do some yoga and do some stretching. Obviously, if you are feeling really crucial pain, and then go to the doctor, check yourself before you wreck yourself. So make sure that you're allowed to do exercises. But other than that, this is a class for you, that for a person who feels pain in the lower back, feels pain in the hip, in your thigh, in your calf muscle, that can be such a horrible pain that it stops you from walking. So try out this class. It's gentle, it's suitable for all of us. I hope you enjoy it. Roll out your mat and we're gonna get started. We're gonna start recline. So just a nice, comfortable position. Love to be covered in a sand finally after all that snow in Finland. So yes, so just getting down to the floor. Nice. You can place your hands on your belly. Bring your knees up and slowly now, on an exhalation, take your knees down to the side. And as you inhale, bring your knees up and together. And continue like this, exhaling, knees down to the side. Inhaling, knees together. And continue, exhale. And inhale. One more time, exhale down. And inhaling up. Good. Now, as you exhale, take your knees down to the side with your soles together and just stay here for a moment, allowing the hips to open. On an exhalation, feeling the softness in your hips, in your lower back. As you inhale, feeling the space within yourself, everything expanding with you. And as you exhale, everything contracting together. So just taking this time for yourself, preparing for this practice. It isn't too long of a class, but it does include all of my favorite postures that will release that sciatica nerve. So feel free to do this every night, on a nights where you have been sitting all day long. These things can trap that sciatica nerve quite quickly. So just keep working on yourself, keep healing yourself. Good. Now let's bring those knees together, feet hip width apart, and just gently swinging the knees side to side. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring the right knee into our chest, interlocking the fingers behind our thigh. Flex the ankle, and on your exhalation, lengthen your leg. As you inhale, bend. Again, exhale. Inhale, bend. Exhale. Inhale. Last one, exhale, and then stay here for a moment. Listen to your body, so you're not stepping over your limits. You should not be in pain. You should feel a little bit discomfort, but definitely no pain whatsoever. Good, and hold. The waves are just stunning. They're my constant reminder about the deep breathing, coming and going. Good. And then bring your right ankle down to your left thigh. Now we're not going to bring the knees in, but you're going to press with your right hand the right knee away. You just hold in here. And if you have any strain in your neck, feel free to bring a pillow underneath your head or use a yoga block underneath your head. That's a nice little support for the neck, especially if your shoulders and upper back feels tight. Good. Now from here, we're going to bring the right knee in towards the left chest. So using your left hand, you're going to pull the knee over to the left. Good. Breathe. Relax the right hip. So you don't want to pull the right hip up, but allow the gravity to pull the hip down. Good. On your next inhalation, allow the knee to go back. And again, as you exhale, start to pull the right knee towards the left chest. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? So simple movement, but yet so healing, so releasing, allowing us to let go. And when we let go, that's where the magic happens. That's where the inner peace and healing starts to just take over our entire self. Good. Now letting go. Beautiful. And release the right foot down. Let's do the left side then. So we're going to pull the left knee in. Interlocking our fingers behind the left thigh. Flex the left ankle. And on an exhalation, just lengthen the leg. Inhale, bend. And exhale, lengthen. There's a little pop running there. Good. And bend. And lengthen. One last time. Inhale to bend. Exhale and lengthen. Good. Hold it there for a moment. When we're practicing yoga, what we want to focus on is guiding that breath into the area. It's almost just like feeling your inhalation in the area that you're stretching, like the back of the thigh now, hamstring. And exhale, we're just releasing tension. It's almost like melting away that tension from our body with our exhalation. Now, flexing your left ankle, take your left ankle down to your right thigh and start to press the knee away. Good. Holding and breathing. I hope you're feeling a little bit of a release from the pain already by now. Good. And then with your right hand, start to pull the left knee in towards your chest. Should feel it in the left glute. And remember, don't hold your breath. Keep breathing deeply. Sending all that oxygen into that muscle. Good. With your next inhalation, push the knee slightly away. And as you exhale, start to bring the knee in again. Very good. And release. Bring the leg down. If you feel like a little bit moving your knees side to side, do that. Or if you want to hug your knees into your chest, you can do that. A little bit just circling the knees around. Good. Excellent. Now from here, turn to your left side. You want to keep your left leg straight, left hand in front. And we're just going to take quite a gentle twist. So taking your right hand over and coming back to the center. Beautiful. Do this one more time. Open your right hand over to the right. Good. Just take a short moment in here. Now, if you have herniated disc, you want to avoid intense twisting. In that case, just come up and just a little bit. You can keep your hand on your shoulder and just open that chest tiny bit. And another nice variation, if you want to stay here for longer but the back feels tight, take a pillow or a yoga block underneath your right knee. That will help you a lot. Good. Let's come back to the center. And we're going to turn onto our belly. So you're going to keep that right knee on the side. And you either lower yourself down on your belly, or you can stay up a little bit higher on your forearms. So any bit of a nice little back pain is quite therapeutic for your disc, for the vertebrae, and yeah, it does help with the herniated disc problem. Good, but you gotta be gentle. Remember, immediately as you start to feel any sharp or burning pain, you come down and you just be a little bit closer to the ground. This will help you to open up the hips and nice little stretch for your back too. So just see where you feel comfortable and take a moment in here. Cannot complain, I gotta say, life is pretty amazing. Very good. And now from here, we're gonna go and take a child's pose variation. So you wanna bring your hands next to your chest and you just push and you step that right knee over your left knee and you push the hips back. Good. And then we're gonna come back to our belly. But we're gonna take a twist over to our left. So what you wanna do is turn over to your right side. Take your right hand over to the right. Bend your left knee this time, and you're gonna open up your left hand over to the left side. So with your chest turning up towards the ceiling, again, feel free to support your knee with a pillow or a block. Or in a case, if you feel quite intense, then just take your hand to your shoulder. You can even gently just roll your shoulder around. Just see what feels good for you today. You should feel this stretch not only in your lower back and in your glutes, but also in your chest area, opening up those tight chest muscles. And if you want to make this pose a little bit more intense for the chest muscle, just take your hand a tiny bit up and you should feel a great stretch down there. It's the small pec muscles next to your armpit. Beautiful. Let's come back to the center, back to our belly. Keep your right knee on your side. Knee bent in a 90-degree angle, and again either coming up to your forearms or staying closer to the ground. Take a moment in here, try to relax, focus on that deep breathing, focus on yourself. Relax your shoulders. If you notice yourself tensing your face, then relax your face. There's no need, biting the teeth together or, like squeezing your forehead or, what it is. Good. Just take a moment. With every exhalation, feel your hips become more softer, more relaxed. And slowly, slowly bring your hands next to your chest. We're gonna push ourselves up, taking the left knee over the right and pushing the hips back. Just a bit of a counter pose for the previous pose. Beautiful. And then we're gonna come and lie down onto our belly again. And this time we're gonna take a Schwink pose. So again, you have an option to just move onto your forearms. You can have your legs a little bit more open if you feel that the back is very tight, or you have an option to just move yourself a little bit closer to the ground, like taking your forearms a bit more to the front, or open the forearms or elbows a little bit wider. Just see what feels good for you today. Nice. Allow your shoulders to relax. You should feel your collarbones kind of like opening up to the sides. And we're not gonna stay here very long, so you can also kind of gently activate your quadriceps, so the front of the thighs, your glutes. You can pull that tailbone back and down. Good. And from here, we're going to bring the chest down. We're going to take a child's pose, pushing the hips back. Good. Releasing the head down. You can bring your hands underneath your head. You can bring your hands next to your body if you wish. Good. And then supporting with your hands, we're going to come up. And we're going to do our last pose, which is a Seedy Posture. So come and sit up. We're going to take the feet quite wide apart. So if your mat is like this, then wider than your mat width apart. And have your hands behind you. Now, on an exhalation, drop your knees over to your left. And as you inhale, come back to the center. On an exhalation, drop your knees over to your right. I'm just waiting for the waves to catch me, so hopefully I will be safe during this class. Good. And over to the left. And this time, leave your knees to the left. We're gonna just walk ourselves on top of that left shin. So bringing your forearms down, or just staying up a little bit higher, or even releasing all the way down with your head down to the ground. I ain't gonna do that now when it's very sandy, but otherwise if you're home, just feel free to release the forehead down. Now you should feel quite intense stretch down your glutes again, the outer hip, possibly in the outer thigh. Just hold and breathe. The thing with sciatica nerve is that it does run down from the lower back all the way down through the back of our leg, back of our calf muscle, all the way down to our heel. So when you have problem with sciatica nerve, you're feeling it like in such an intense pain in your leg, in the lower back. You might think that you have a problem like with a calf muscle, but often it can be that sciatica pain that just reflects so widely through the entire leg, in your heel, in your Achilles, everywhere. So it is a pain in a bum, as we say. It's sciatica pain is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It doesn't only affect your physical it doesn't affect only your everyday life, but it affects your mental health, which makes it quite annoying, you know. When our mental health is affected in such way with constant pain and suffering, we start to feel depressed and we start to feel anxious, and our stress levels get up, and our body starts to get sick. That's the problem. So let's get rid of that sciatica pain. Good. Now walk yourself back up. Bring your knees up, and again, you might want to just drop the knees over to your right, relaxing the hip, over to your left. And then as you start to come over to your right, you can even shift the hip slightly to the left. We're going to walk slowly, the chest on top of our right shin, and you should immediately feel a nice stretch in, or nice, by nice I obviously mean extremely uncomfortable stretch in your glutes, in your thigh, yeah, and possibly in your lower back. Now, one thing with this pose, try to avoid this, that you round your back. Notice, you can even try it out now. Rounding your back, the stretch disappears. And again, like straightening your back, pulling your chest forward, lowering down to your forearms, the stretch appears. So there's massive difference in these yoga poses, that rounding the back, which is, by the way, not a good thing when you're suffering from herniated disc or sciatica problem, then trying to keep your back always straight. So that's why doing certain stretches on the floor is bit better than doing them standing up or sitting up, because it's very easy to round the back and hurt yourself even more while practicing yoga, you know. So be careful, be careful. Beautiful. Start to come back up. Lovely. Bring your knees back up. And now, as a last pose today, taking your right heel towards the pelvic floor, lengthen your left leg. Now sit up straight. If you do have a strong back pain, feel free to sit on top of a pillow or a yoga block. You can support your knee or have the leg straight if that feels a bit better. Now from here, we're going to take a slight side stretch. So start to take your right hand up. Release the hand to the back of your head. Good, round that side. And we're going to do a little twist down. So you bring that right elbow towards the left knee. As you inhale, bring the right elbow up again. And as you exhale again, rotating down, turning the chest down. And on an inhalation, up. Very good. Coming back up and just taking a little twist. You're bringing your left hand down to your right knee and a gentle twist. Keeping your back straight, and remember the twisting happens from mid-back upwards. You're not twisting from your hips, but from that mid-back. Good. Come back to the center and let's swap the sides around. So now with your right leg to the side, left heel towards the pelvic floor. Again, keep your back nice and straight. Support yourself if needed. Take your right hand down. And from here, start to take your left hand up, just reaching up through your fingertips. Round that side, bring your hand down to your to the back of your head. Good. And on an exhalation, rotate the chest down. Inhaling, open up. And exhale, round again. Inhale, open. And exhale, last one. And inhale. Good. Come back up. Beautiful. And on your next exhalation, take your right hand down to your left thigh, take a twist. And this is so lovely. You know that I used to live in Australia for nearly 8 years. And this reminds me of so much like practicing yoga outside on the beach. So taking a moment and sending lots of love to all my friends and all my yogis in Australia too. I think of you all the time. I miss you dearly. Good. And let's come back to the center. Now the choice is yours. You can either do your final moment in this practice sitting in a cross-legged seated position. You can lie down, have your legs straight or with your knees bent, knees resting together. Oh, I'm gonna do it today sitting up and just taking a moment here, centering myself. You can have your palms facing downwards or your palms facing upwards. Taking a deep breath in and feeling your just lungs fill up with this beautiful fresh air. And as you exhale, just relax. Soften your shoulders, soften your face. If you're sitting up, don't lift your chin up, but rather have your chin drop a little bit. Just enjoy this moment. Relax and let go. This moment of freedom, this moment for yourself, a time for yourself, the time of healing, the time of letting go. Now, either if you're sitting or you're lying down, with your next deep inhalation, start to take your hands above your head, stretch out, lengthen, and as you exhale, turn to your side if you're lying and sit up. Otherwise, bring your hands to your heart center. Open up your eyes. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for taking this time for yourself and time with myself to practice some yoga. You know, taking time to heal yourself. It's so important that on a daily basis we do something for ourselves. We prioritize our health, our body, our you know, our soul, our heart. So thank you. I do appreciate it so much. So if you enjoy this practice, feel free to give me a thumbs up and comment what you would like to do next. This means so much to me to know what you prefer. Do you prefer longer classes, shorter classes? Do you prefer to work on something? Do you want to know something about something like chakras or anything? You know, let me know. I am here for you. So really extremely happy for all of you that have been joining the yoga classes. So have the most beautiful day. Namaste.